Hello, New You Women. Welcome to this amazing call that we're going to have today. I can't wait for you to meet Lauren, but I'm just so excited for you to be here, to be able to unplug from the world and plug into what we have here in this beautiful, amazing community and culture where you're going to feel value and feel loved and encouraged and maybe even get to know some of these beautiful women and some of their stories and learn some tools that they've used to help them get through their journey in life. So here we are. I can't wait to meet Lauren. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So
Good.
tell me a little bit about yourself first so that these ladies can get to know you.
So I am a mom of four. I have a 19-year-old, 17, 15, and an 8-year-old. Um, I grew up in Massachusetts
Mm-hmm.
and I am engaged to Nora's father. Um, I do bookkeeping on the side and I have quite a few businesses actually on the side. Yeah, and I'm pretty much trying to figure out right now what who I am again is actually part of my journey.
That's incredible. I actually met Lauren last year. Was it at one of our big conventions that we had in Florida?
Yeah, in Florida we met, and then again in Boston at the first
Yep.
event.
So I met this young lady, and we had just kind of gotten started with our beautiful women's department and culture that we have here at New You Women. And I took a look at her and I said, there's something so special about this young lady, but she was so quiet, and she just didn't say much, but I could feel it inside of her that she just had so much to share and offer, and finding who she was. So to tell me a little bit about like how you and I connected. Why did we connect? Like, what was it that obviously you got involved in this beautiful opportunity? Why? What were you looking for? And what were you going
Ba-
through during that time?
Basically, I was fighting through some PTSD, anxiety, and depression. I had been working on myself by myself for a long time, trying to feel better and figure out what was missing. And then I heard about the New You Women. And when I saw the Zoom call with everybody on it, I was so excited, like just seeing everyone and hearing about it. It was a safe space. And for me to be excited about something, like I hadn't felt excited in so long. So I felt like I had a place that I could finally take my healing like to the next level. I was stuck for so long and there was so many strong women in the group
Mm-hmm.
that I felt like I could actually trust, which is very difficult for me with my past.
What do you think that made you feel so stuck? Is that part of the reason why you had been kind of so quiet and not feeling like you could share your voice? Like, what kind of drove that mentality in your mind that made you feel like I can't speak out? I don't have a voice. Like, we all grow up in different insecurities. What was it that made?
All of my past relationships were toxic, abusive, verbally, mentally, um, physically. So for a long time, I was told basically, you're to be seen, not heard. You're just basically to shut up in not so nice words all the time. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. You're wrong. You're not good enough forever. Like I don't from like I was saying, I was telling someone the other day, I was 20 years old and I was stuck in a toxic relationship when I had my first daughter. And I was 33 when I had my second daughter, and I was still in that same cycle. And I
Mhm.
just couldn't get out. And it became part of me. When someone tells you for so long that your voice doesn't need to be heard, you believe them.
Yep. Since we're going down this path right here and just being real raw and open, it's so interesting that you say that because we all have different chapters in our life. And even though, I see you walking through that chapter right now, I've walked that chapter. I actually had a man at one point in my life literally say over the phone, and I can almost kind of still, like, you can hear those words in your ear, right? And you get to a point where you break through that, but he told me you will never amount to anything, and then hung up the phone. And it took me such a long journey for me, I was always outgoing. So it wasn't hard for me to just to share, but I never shared the truth. I never shared the valuable things, right? Like I would always just be kind of very shallow with what I wanted to say or how I felt,
Yeah.
or covered it up. And it took me through my journey to realize, and this was the key part, I was always being afraid to share because I was afraid of failure, right? I was afraid of failing because of what he said, that you will never amount to anything, you know?
Mhm.
So as soon as I got out of my head, and as soon as that I allowed my heart to speak, as soon as I said, you know what, this isn't about me, what this is about others, right? When you make it about others and say, what do they need to hear? And what can I offer for them to hear? It brings courage. When you make it about yourself, then you start to bring all those fears up, you know, whether it be embarrassment, whether it be failure, you know, abandonment from friends or family because they started to hear your story or what you've gone through, judgment. All of that is not built inside of us. That has come from society and life that has taught us to be afraid. We weren't born with those fears, you know. So now I see you going through this beautiful journey, and you know, and what was it that I had you do inside of our beautiful community in our Facebook group?
Oh, you had me do a video, the first video that I did.
Yeah.
Um, I did a video about what New You Women meant to me and a little bit about my story, and it was terrible.
Yeah, but what was
I
okay, so what, you know, what's funny is I asked you to do it, but you didn't tell me when you were gonna do it. I just remember you just doing it and showing up. So what was
had
that made you say, you know what, I'm gonna go do this right now?
I knew I had to push forward. I knew this was what was going to take me to the next level. I had been stuck and I saw all these powerful women supporting each other. And I don't know, I just knew that this was what I needed. And I didn't even know that I needed it
Mm.
until I found it.
Yeah, and I remember it too. I remember watching it and I remember like literally saying, she's literally reading off of a paper.
It was. I had it
No,
taped
but
right
I
up to my
was so
window.
proud of you because you shocked me because you just came on and I said all of a sudden saw that you were on. And I was like, oh my goodness, she's doing it. She stepped out. How did that make you feel after you did it? Even though you were just
It,
reading off the thing, how did it make you feel?
it was awesome. It was the first step really into this whole journey because I watched that after and I saw like I didn't have any emotions. And that's something I'm struggling with still, but I'm getting better. Like even allowing myself to feel my emotions. So
Mm,
that was kind of like what I always go back to now when I'm doing stuff to see how far I've come.
yeah. That's awesome. And then let's fast forward a little bit more. I had you do another video where to record your story. And I cannot wait for you to really dive into sharing your story. But I remember being on the phone with you and we were talking about you sharing your story and what that looked like. And you said something that I think you was so key for even you, which was I don't think I don't think I have a story in my past. And you know,
Mhm.
I don't know what my story is. And I said everybody has a story in their past, right? Find out what that is because that something in your past is what somebody needs to hear today,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
And you did that story and I am just so blown away by the difference in what your video and what you shared and your courage and your posture today looks like compared to what it looked like almost a year ago. I mean, you're a completely different person and I believe it's you breaking through those fears. So
Yes, it
so tell me
definitely
now,
is.
how did like tell me what are some of the things that helped you? Because if someone's listening to this, what and they're like, I'm so scared. I can never step out of my comfort zone. I want to grow. I want to achieve my dreams and my goals, but I'm so scared and I just shut down. What are some things that have helped you?
Well, first I heard Peg actually said you have to just do it. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So I really just trusted her because she's very good at public
Mhm.
speaking. That was one of the things. I just went for it. And if you make a mistake, this community is so supportive. It doesn't even feel like you're failing. It feels like an opportunity to grow now. I mean, at first, obviously, it was scary and I felt like I was going to say something wrong, but you really can't say something wrong
Yeah.
because everyone, like, once I started telling my story, people were saying, I've been there. There were people like yourself and women that I really looked up to that told me they had been in the same situation. I would have never connected with them or
Yeah.
even thought that they could have been in the same situation as me, looking at them where they are now. So I connected with people and learned from them. That
Mhm.
was a huge help to me.
Yeah.
And then with Brooke, I mean, Brooke was another person who had the same issue as me. So we kind of bonded over that. It's really been the connection that's helped me feel comfortable to step out of my fears.
But what is it? The connections are great. What is it that you go through mentally at this point now to get in front of someone to speak? Like, what are you doing for yourself internally?
Um, I'm trusting myself more. I mean, the first time that I went up on stage, my whole body was shaking. I felt like my voice was shaking. Someone came up and told me that others people can't hear that. So that was a big help to me because now I tell myself in the back of my mind that they can't hear my voice shaking how I do inside. Um, and just every time I get up there, I think of it as an opportunity to grow. I am a perfectionist, so I watch myself and I learn from what I did and I change things each time, and it's actually become fun and exciting to me now and not as scary.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you and those that are listening something that has helped me. So I'm gonna tell you something and coach you just even on this call. The difference between excitement and fear is nothing except for the mind. Do you know that your body, the sweaty armpits, sweaty hands, the sweat, the feeling, the heart beating for excitement is the same bodily function as it is for fear. The only difference is what's going on between your eyes right here in your head. Fear, believe it or not, is only a survival mechanism. Like it's only there to keep you in survival. When excitement is like, I have no problem with it. I'm excited about it. Like I can do this, but you don't realize that it's just your body's dealing with the same situation of the heartbeat and the getting ready type of pumping up. But what I do is instead of being like, I'm going to go out and speak, I'm scared at all. Instead of doing that, I think about, you know what? I'm excited to do this. I get to share
Mhm.
something that is going to help somebody else. Like I am so pumped up. I'm so pumped up that like I'm shaking because I'm so full of excitement. I'm like sweaty because I'm like so on fire, ready to go share something that is so, valuable and needed to somebody that's out there listening, that's been praying for this. I
Mhm.
put that in my mind, which triggers that feeling of I'm pumped up, I'm excited. You actually literally can teach your mind not to think that, oh, I'm scared, I'm fearful. If you're sitting there saying I'm scared or I'm fearful before you go out, you will consistently go out there, even when you get out there, saying I'm scared. But if you kind of train your mind to trigger the excitement mode when it's still the same feeling, you're literally still feeling the same thing. Your body functions are the same. Just trigger this excitement. Say, I'm not, it's not fear, it's excitement. My body
Yeah,
isn't reacting out of fear. It's actually very excited. Watch what happens. And you keep doing that over and over again. Those feelings that really do turn into excitement. Like you're so pumped, you're on the side of the stage ready to go. And you're just so excited. And it's not even about fear anymore. It's
yeah,
like you're feeling the body functions as excitement instead of out of fear.
yeah. And me and my daughter actually listen on the last event that I spoke at. We listened to girl power music all the way there, and
There you
that was
go.
super helpful too.
That's awesome. Let's go a little bit deeper here and just share a little bit about where you're going right now. What is that now? You're going in this journey, and like someone's listening to this, and they're working through it too. So they're constantly trying to apply. They're saying, you know what, I'm going to do that video tomorrow. Oh, you know what, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep applying it. And they're listening to this and they're feeling pumped up, ready to go. What is it that you're going to do that's your dreams and your goals? Like, what is the next step in your level that you want to achieve through breaking through these barriers and building up your confidence and and lack of fear? Like, you're all in.
I want to be able to be up on stage and really help women who are sitting there stuck in silence at home that don't know how to get out of it. They don't think there's a way. They
Mm-hmm.
think there's no one to support them. I really want to be able to empower those women with my story. And hopefully someone will hear me say my story and it'll give them the confidence to change their life. On top of that, my daughter is now watching me. My older daughter is making a lot of the mistakes that I made because she went through the previous version of me. And I'm watching her do it. And I mean, I'm helping her through it, but unfortunately, that's the cycle that happens when your family has abuse in it.
Mm-hmm.
But my younger daughter is totally different because she's being brought up in a different way and she's becoming so empowering. And just like when I went on stage, she came up with me. She wanted to be up there to support me at 8 years old. And that's scary for an 8 year old. And she's just, I want to break this generation of abuse and show other kids and let other parents know that they can change what's happened, even if they're 40 years old and they're trying to change their life and their families.
Amazing. That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about this opportunity, this journey that you're on. What are you working on? Like, what are you doing? You're getting to work from home, right? You're getting to show your daughter, what you're doing. So what is that? How did you come across this opportunity?
Well, through all of my past, I went through obviously lots of stress. So my hormones, my body was totally out of whack. I was not sleeping. The PTSD was really affecting me. I was up every 2 hours at night because when you're in a relationship like that, if the kids make noise, you instantly want to silence them so they don't upset anyone. So if the kids moved at night, I was running downstairs. So I literally didn't sleep forever. And it took a toll on my body. And I knew I needed to fix that to feel better. And that's when I found the gel. And I slept for 6 hours the first week when I got on it. And I felt like a different person, like from going from years of 2 hours of sleep to 6 hours straight was like,
Mm-hmm.
I could do anything when I woke up. I felt like a superhero, like it was the best feeling. So that's what I was like, if I can show other people this is incredible because I can't be the only person going through this.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can even see the transformation. What it's been doing for your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
You're just glowing every time I see you. Every single picture I see of you, you actually look younger, but like you look elegant, like younger now than when I met you, right? You like have this like beautiful like maturity about you, but also younger at the same time, if that even makes sense. Like you
Yes,
look like
thank
a mature like woman, not like a child, but I think that's part of the confidence that I'm also
you. Yeah.
feeling off of you, and your vibe that you're sending off is just a beautiful energy that I see.
And it's helped with my stress, my anxiety, like, and that takes such a toll on everything.
Yeah.
Your whole face shows it. It's just changed everything. Like I can't, the sleep alone is worth it, but it's changed my whole body, my everything. It's incredible. So I had to share it, and then for it to bring me to New You Women on top of it, it was just
Yeah.
amazing. Like
What
it
is New
was
You Women to
everything that
you?
I needed.
And what is New You Women to you?
New You Women really is, it's taken me to the next level. It's given me the confidence to put myself out there and allow others to support me. I didn't let other people in when I first started trying to go through this journey because it was safe. Nobody could let me down if I didn't let anyone in. And I feel like I can let these women in. I can trust them. I've met them. I've hugged them. I've shared my story. Most of us have cried together. Um, and it takes a lot even for me to cry. Like it's weird. It's a like my emotions just are coming back. So I know it's leading me down the right path.
How
And it's
does that
exactly what I needed.
how does sharing your story, how has that changed your life? Like, ever since I was like, share it, get it out, voice it, like encouraging other people to share their story, what has it done for you?
It has brought people have come up to me and thanked me for sharing my story and said, I know how hard that was for you. If you can do it, I can do it too. And I thought I was doing it for just me at the time. But when they started coming up to me and saying like that I was helping them,
Mhm.
that's made it such a bigger purpose for me to even push more to grow and to to get my story out.
Yep. I'm going to share why. A lot of people that won't share their story, it's not because it's not that a lot of people are not afraid to share their story. There's people that are, but there's a lot of people that are outgoing. They're willing to share their story, but they're also not because they're afraid of judgment, um, because they haven't healed.
Mhm.
Those that have completely feel like they have accepted their journey and have healed through the process and love themselves, right? They're not afraid of the judgment. It's their story. And when they look at it as it's not about me, it's actually my story is about others, then it completely changes the viewpoint of you sharing your story because it's you're actually saying who needs to hear this, and I need to share it more because it'll get out to more people.
Right, because I remember laying in bed, like the kids, I would send them to school at 8 in the morning, and I would lay in bed until they got home at 2 and just think I had no way out. And
Hmm.
like if I just listened to a podcast or if I heard something that
Yeah.
someone I could relate to, it might have helped me sooner. So I want to reach those people that feel like they're stuck there.
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody right now or to your past self and looking in the mirror, like what is it that you could share to somebody to encourage them and they're feeling stuck in that place? They're feeling stuck in the place that you were before you found this beautiful community.
Don't try and do it alone. I tried for so long. I read all the books. I did all the things. I wrote in all the journals. I did everything told me to do, but I was by myself. I didn't have a support system, and you need that. Even if you don't think you need it, you really do because like I was saying with my emotions, like I can't share my feelings with myself. I can write them down, but I'm not it's just human connection. You need that to heal. And I really think that's the final thing that I needed in my healing.
Hmm. I completely agree, and I cannot wait to see you do more and start to really work on now putting the pieces together, right? You found that courage, you broke through that fear, and now it's just doing it more, building up that confidence even higher, finding the right things that can help teach and train and applying
Don't come over here.
every
Don't,
step
hold
that
on.
every step that you do. Hey, this is what's fun about it, right? This is your daughter. Hi.
Yes, this is Nora. Say hi. Hi.
The one that got up on stage with you.
Yes, she did.
Wow. How did that make you feel?
Me or her?
Her.
How'd you
How'd
feel
that
up
make you
on
feel
stage?
to get up on stage with your mom? Yeah. Have you seen your mom grow so much? Yeah, are you proud of her? Awesome. Well, one of these days I'm gonna have you on here.
She will be on stage someday. Again, I guarantee.
So anyway, so I cannot wait to see what you have to offer. And I love that we have this beautiful community like this, right? That can be just so real and raw. allowing women to just rise up and be who they are, share their stories, and look at that, even like bring their daughters along, and teach
Right.
them what girls need to hear today. They need to hear that they're valuable and loved, and that they have a voice, you know, and it's a beautiful thing for she so longs, right, to be a part of that and to see that. And she's watching her mom just go through that journey. And it's a beautiful testimony for her,
Yeah. Yeah, it
right?
is. She's going to be a strong, empowering woman. Definitely.
Well, amazing. So I'm so glad to have you do this. And I'm really going to have you one day share your story. We're going to really dive into that. You know, that's people are going to look back and say, look, she found that beautiful confidence to just come out
Mhm.
and to really go deep into her story, because people need to hear that. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited to share more. It's a long story, but we get there.
We're gonna get there for sure. But anyway, guys, I love you all so much. I'm so glad that you guys listened to this and got to know Lauren a little bit. You know, if you feel like that you're in this spot where you want to just like grow more, learn more, and just get through that barrier of fear and learn how to build that confidence, don't be afraid to reach out to us. Don't be afraid to reach out to Lauren and ask her even some more questions one-on-one, like, and have her help you get through that fear and that barrier and feeling like you may not have a voice, which you do. You have a voice. So we love you all so much. Thank you, Lauren, so much.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.